Peymon who?
Mottahedeh.
Peymon Mottahedeh. Who is he?
Never paid taxes in 30 years. Fought the U.S. tax court and won.
See, I believe our rights come from God, not from government.
Hello to my truth and freedom-seeking friends. In this presentation, I will cover the topic of the 1040 income tax form extension. If you have filed that, why 99% of you do not have to file the 1040 form by October 15th anyways. Yes, this will surprise and delight you. Hang on till the end. I am Peymon Mottahedeh, the president of Freedom Law School, which I created in 1996. And for over 30 years, not only I have not filed and paid any federal income taxes, I've been teaching Americans like you to do the same legally and safely. If you've not been to our website, freedomlawschool.org, go there for more for you to be free. Now let's get to the topic at hand about if you file for an extension, are you obligated to file an income tax return? 99% of you will be a no, you are a free man or woman. Here is the application for automatic extension of time to file U.S. individual income tax return that many of you filed with the IRS before April 15th. It's Form 4868. Now, you go down to the actual form, which is a very, very short form here at the bottom here. That's all there is to it. Very short, small application for automatic. It's automatically extension of time given to you without any review by any human beings to file a U.S. individual income tax return, okay? Now, if you look at this thing, there is no place for anybody to sign it. There's no signature of anybody. All it is, you put your name, address, your slave surveillance number, social security number, and on the for estimate total liability for 24, you can put 0. You probably did it already. Doesn't matter what you put on these things, really. As long as you send it in, you got that extension automatically as the form itself says. Now, this form can be sent by you to the IRS, or your accountant, or your neighbor down the street, or your cousin, or a total stranger. That's right. How? Because there is no signature on this form at all. Okay? So it's completely harmless form. You did not commit to anything by having this form sent to the IRS. Like I said, anybody else could send it on behalf of you falsely or correctly. So there's no obligation created by sending this form that has your information, but nobody has signed anything at all. Now, so with that, let's understand now why I'm talking about 99% of you do not have to fill out this 1040 U.S. individual income tax return to begin with. Let's go to the 1040 form instructions that IRS provides us correctly. On page 8 of this form, about filing requirements, the IRS 1040 instructions says this. These rules apply to all U.S. citizens, regardless of where they live, and resident aliens. We will focus on the U.S. citizens part. U.S. stands for United States. But what does that word mean? It's a very critical distinction we have to answer later on, and that I will get you to momentarily. Okay? So to understand what that term U.S. means, let's go to Congress, the House of Representatives. This page, uscode.house.gov, is where in this page is the United States Code is a consolidation and codification by subject matter of the general and permanent laws of the United States, the federal government. It is prepared by the Office of the Law Revision Council of the United States House of representatives. This is where you see all the federal laws, 54 categories or titles listed here. Title 1, General Powers. Title 3, President. Title 26 is the Internal Revenue Code, the federal tax laws. This is the whole thing on paper. This is one of my 3 paper copies I got actually of this book, The Bible of the IRS. Online, you can see this, all this tissue-thin, tiny font, convoluted gobbledygook. Okay? We're going to go read it for ourselves. So easy. Hang in there. I made it so easy for you to understand, my friends. Okay? So, we're going to go now to Title 26, the Internal Revenue Code, Federal Tax Law Book. Okay? And here we go to Part 1, Tax on Individuals. Every accountant will tell you the tax is imposed in Section 1 of the Internal Revenue Code. But to get a better, clear understanding of it, we're going to go to the Code of Federal Regulations, which the U.S. Treasury writes. Okay? Here it is, tax on individuals, CFR 1.1-1, income tax on individuals. Okay? And it says, Section 1 of the Code imposes an income tax on the income of every individual who is a citizen or resident of the United States. We're going to focus on them because that's what most of you think, that you are a citizen or resident of the United States. Well, we're going to get to this topic and solve this problem for you. United States has a specific meaning in law, as I will show you, that will shock you, very much surprise you. You'll love this, okay? Are you a U.S. citizen for tax purposes? Here it is. Let's take a look at this again from Title 26, Internal Revenue Code. You're going to go to Section 7701, Definitions. Yes, there is this Chapter 79 only on definitions. So here we are, Section 7701, definitions. When used in this title. What title? Title 26, the Internal Revenue Code they're talking about here, okay? So they define many terms that do not even need defining. Here we go now. A9 and 10, United States and state are both defined. Let's get to state first. The term state shall be construed to include the District of Columbia, which is not even a state. Not only that, none of the 50 states are listed there. Well, why not? Because they were not meant to be there. Very simple. So let's go to the United States. The term United States, when used in a geographical sense, yes, what land area does it cover? Includes only the states, which now it means only the District of Columbia and the District of Columbia again. So you have DC plus DC. What do you get? Same thing, only the District of Columbia. Now I know you're thinking, come on, everybody knows the 50 states are included in the definition of the term state. Everybody knows the United States includes the 50 states. You don't have to say it. Well, not so fast. Let's ask the U.S. Supreme Court about this very important question of definitions. In this case called Stenberg versus Carhart, which came out in the year 2000, they gave us a very clear, cautious explanation of this issue of definitions in laws or statutes. When a statute includes an explicit definition, like what you just saw, we must follow that definition, even if it varies from that term's ordinary meaning. That's right. The ordinary meaning of the term United States and state are out the window. We're going to go by what the law says. And it is axiomatic, self-evident, obvious, that the statutory definition of the term, that means something decided or defined in law, statute, law, excludes unstated meanings of that term. What's not stated, it excludes it. It's not there. So when you see here United States, not being listed here, and does not include the 50 states or states, because it was not meant to be there. In tax law, this rule is even more stronger. Gould versus Gould, a unanimous tax case 9-0 that came out in 1917, said this very strongly. In their interpretation or understanding of statutes, laws, levying or imposing taxes. So in understanding laws that impose taxes, it is the established rule, well-known rule, not to extend their provisions of tax laws by implication or implying beyond the clear import of the language used, or to enlarge their operations so as to embrace matters not specifically pointed out. Something not specifically is pointed out, it's not there. And in case of doubt, they are construed most strongly against the government and in favor of the citizen not being taxed. That's clear cut, folks. You have a proof right there. 9-0 tax case of U.S. Supreme Court. So we know now the term United States in tax law only means the District of Columbia. Only D.C. citizens are that people that got to file and pay income taxes. Now, I'll give you one example of the term 50 states being used in tax law to show you that Congress did not forget to put 50 states in the law. They knew about it. They just chose to leave it out for constitutional reasons. They had to do it this way. Look at this one. This is again from Title 26, the Internal Revenue Code, Section 4612, Definition and Special Rules. Here we have Subchapter A, Tax on Petroleum or Oil. Okay? And here it tells us, for the purpose of this subchapter, what subchapter? Subchapter A, Tax on Petroleum. Okay? And it defines many things like, look at this. United States is defined. Okay? The term United States means the 50 states. There it is. They did not forget the 50 states. If they want to list the 50 states, they can and do list it. And the District of Columbia, and a bunch of U.S. territories, and continental shelf areas, and even foreign trade zones are added. If they want to include them, they can and do include them in the federal tax laws. Okay? So now again, let me refresh you. When it comes to Title 26, okay, for definition purposes, when used in this title, the term United States of the U.S. means what? Means the District of Columbia. Yep. So why was it done this way? It's a longer story, but I'm going to show you this to you. This court case called Rubin and Allison versus Evat, Tax Commissioner of Ohio. The term United States may be used in any one of several senses. One, it may be merely the name of a sovereign occupying the position analogous to that of other sovereigns in the family of nations, like America compared to Russia, France, Egypt, England, Germany. We often think about it that way. Number two definition is what they use in tax law. He may designate the territory over which the sovereignty of the United States extends. That's the United States they're talking about, because the government, the federal government, a sovereign or king in the District of Columbia and other federal lands and property. Lastly, it may be the collective name of the states which are united by and under the Constitution. But the second United States, that's the one they was taxed on. Why? Because the 13 colonies became 13 countries or states, okay, at the time of the American Revolution, okay, and they created an agent headquartered in Washington, D.C., to be known as the U.S. government, which they gave it 18 specific functions and powers that the states used to have to come up with common money, common defense, common immigration, common foreign relations, and so forth, okay? And for D.C. to be, this government to be independent of the states, they gave it a land later on came to be known as Washington, D.C. So this federal government, having this as its home, could be independent of the states so that it would not be put under the pressure of any one state if it was located within any of the states. Okay? That's why it's a special territory. It's a district. Okay? And again, about the whole design, that's what the 10th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution says, that the power is not delegated to the United States. That's the government of D.C. by the Constitution, nor prohibited by the states, are reserved to states, respectively, or to the people. That's right. The federal government is a government of limited powers. Okay? Now, so again, going back to it, now you see why when he says Title 26, Section 7701, that when used this title, the word United States means only D.C. because it has to be that way. That is the way it is for it to be constitutional. Okay? So now you know this U.S. individual income tax return is not for you. It is not for the average American like you who filed that 1040 form. It's for people who are citizens or residents of Washington, D.C. They owe the income tax, not you. The people of the 50 states like you do not owe income tax to begin with. So you never, ever had to fill out this form at all or coming up by April 15th. Now, if you want to be a free person, here's what you got to do. Go to our website, freedomlawschool.org, and click on the 7 steps to regain your freedom and power. Never again voluntarily pay the Washington, D.C. swamp legally and safely with a guarantee if you wish. You click on 7 steps and takes you down to each of the steps like you see as coming up right here. Okay? Here's step 1, follow the law. Yep. We show you right here how income tax is not required to be paid by you or other people of the United States. We got these 12-page brochure, 2 versions of this 12-page brochure available. Download it for free. We'll mail it to you for free. And you can share the link on the right side. Copy and paste the link to share it with your friends and family members. Love them. Educate them also, okay? And then after knowing the law is on your side, you're not required to file income tax. Then you go to step 2. And you got to see and understand that you put the rope around your neck when you sign a 1040 form. Stop doing that. That is how you end up owing your IRS all this money, because you state under oath and confess that you owe the IRS money. Don't give them the power to screw with you, to mess with you. Don't fill out the forms again ever in your life. Any of the IRS forms. Here, you see that the IRS is a Wizard of Oz creation of the corrupt major media. They got you scared, just like Dorothy and her friends, okay, in the Wizard of Oz. Don't be afraid. You've been programmed to pay income taxes you never really owed in the first place. They push your buttons of fear. They tell you to pay your taxes, file early, get panic, stress, fatigue, anxiety. That's how they get you to become a slave. Okay? So you want to, go to our steps, like step 3, understand these things also. Step 3 is a very key step because it leaves you free of the fear of the IRS. You realize they're based upon bluff. That's what they get you to file a 1040 form and confess you owe the IRS money by putting a rope around your neck. No more of that for you. Okay? Now, if you have a withholding from your paycheck by your employer, go to our website and free yourself from income tax withholding. I have a video on the topic here with instructions and sample forms there for you to stop money being stolen from your paycheck by your boss, your company, so it doesn't go to the IRS. So you have to be forced to file the form to get a little bit of that money back. We're going to cut them off at the pass, but stop withholding legally on using it on our website. Step 4, you got to realize IRS is a myth. It's Godzilla, is an image, it's not real. IRS is really a toothless little lizard, especially for non-filers. If you don't file. You see, my friends, you can take credit from our victories that no student of Freedom Law School has ever gone to prison for federal taxes, nor had their paycheck or bank account levied or home business seized by the IRS. I've done this since 2001. I'm not filing income tax myself for over 30 years. So you can be free. We have a track record of proven success to help you live free, for free if you want to, okay, or with our assistance. Step 5, you got to stop paying tribute to the beast. Don't need to worship him or be afraid of the IRS. No, no, no. Be a sovereign, free man or woman. You have the right and the power to live free. God gave you life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. Be free. You choose to be free if you stop worshiping the beast and instead you question authority. You write to your Congress members and you file paying up tax only if your congressman can show you the law that requires you to file and pay income taxes. This is how you safely can free yourself from our deception, robbery, and slavery. So, and the forms are right here on step 5 about individual income taxes, employment taxes, self-employment taxes, and 1099 forms. Here's an example of a petition about the income tax issue, okay? We're writing to all your 3 representatives and senators. They are here. Fill them in on our website for free, okay? And in the letter, you tell them that you spell out that I believe every person should pay their fair share of income taxes according to the law. If I'm wrong, tell me, and I will gladly pay my fair share of taxes. Yep. If I'm wrong, just show me. But if I don't, you need to stop these crooks from taking the money of the American people like me. The law is quoted, listed, and attached to these petitions to all your 3 congressmen to show you if you're wrong, and not one has ever shown any of our students that we're wrong about these. Yep, the truth is there, but we got to dig it up. Now, you can do it on your own or join hands with other freedom seekers like yourselves. Yep, you can do that if you're of this founding father type of person in heart and mind. You believe in freedom. You have the privilege of being part of a Restore Freedom plan available to you. Yes, you could have 100% guarantee when you legally stop filing and paying income taxes, as long as you are a member of the Restore Freedom plan. Freedom Law School will prevent the IRS from lending your money or Freedom Law School will reimburse you, and you will not go to prison. Nothing like it exists out there. Nobody has a program like this. We're the only ones at Freedom Law School that can offer you that kind of freedom, with that kind of guarantee, with that kind of a success track record over 20 years, okay? So, but remember, be a modern-day Paul Revere and arm the American people you know with the truth, with the law, and American families and people will be glorified and be successful once again. But it's up to each one of us to be Paul Revere and love and spread the truth. Our brochures here, we send them to you at no charge. We have Restore Freedom brochure, Follow the Law, and Fast Track Your Success. Okay? Same content inside, just a different outside cover. Some people are interested more into the freedom part of it, Restore Freedom. Some people are more into keeping more of their money. Either way, it gets their attention, so they'll read the brochure and be free. Go and call us at freedomlawschool.org or our website, or 813-444-4800, 813-444-4800. We give you as many of these brochures if you want for free to share with others and pass them out and restore freedom in America. And lastly, remember, what you want to do as you drive around on your car around town, listen to our website. The videos here, the 7 steps, and educate yourself to be free. I love every one of you to be free, but I cannot do it for you. You have to choose freedom. It is your free agency, your choice to take the shackles off of the 1040 form and be free, man or woman again. With that, I give you my love, and I wish for you to, as you drive around, put our videos up, listen to the video. When you get to work or home, then watch again, and one day you'll say, I am free, and you will be free at freedomlawschool.org now.